Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, and that means it's time for another session of Like Clockwork, our actual play that takes place in the same world as Cosworth's Clockwork Circus, the graphic series, which we're going to be kickstarting issue 2 very soon. Very, very soon.
When,
less than
Danny?
a month at this point.
When?
29 days.
August 16th. Time.
Thank you.
Time is a construct. August 16th. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's a Tuesday. Launch day is on a Tuesday.
Yep. Best day to launch a Kickstarter.
That's what I've heard. Anyway, so yeah, that's happening. This is our actual play that takes place in the same world. It's a parallel sort of story. And before we get going, we just kind of want to go around, say hi to everybody, and see what everyone's kind of got going on. So we're going to kick it off to Sin. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. I'm excited to see all your lovely faces again and get to play with you. I've got Like Clockwork, like every Sunday. I recently joined a podcast for their mini-series called Fables of Fandrea Arcanum, where I am playing another character that just randomly joins a group and forces them to be friends with them. And that's it for me.
Nice. All right. And then moving to Sin's left, but our right is the viewer, something like that. Anyway, directions, also a construct. We have Joey. What's up, Joey?
Joey's doing good. Joey's doing real good. Nothing fun to report because Joey doesn't do a bunch of projects. I'm here playing Like Clockwork every time this time, and that's what I do.
For the second time.
Yeah, second time. I'll be here next time too. How you like that? Crazy. Catch me here.
Awesome. All right, and moving again to the left or right, depending on who you are in the world. Isabets. Hello.
Hello. I am Isabets. I am here every Sunday on Like Clockwork, like all these other wonderful people. I am also part of, and I'm going to get it right again for the second time, Becoming Mighty and Morphin podcast. Yes. That is.
I put in a lot of consonants into the title just for you.
I'd like to feel like I inspired that in some way.
You did, Danny. Thank you. Hopefully that will be released at the beginning of the year, I think. But Panabon will tell you more about that because he is our Zordon. I'm also going to be part of another streamed game. We had to push back the start date. It's going to be on ESP D&D starting August 8th every other Monday. So that's exciting. But other than that, nothing else really going on with me.
All right. Well, speaking of our Zordon, we're going to move up then to John, who is playing Panabon. What's going on, John?
Hello, I'm Morley Joe. Wait, that was the 10 candle stream earlier this week.
That character's dead already.
I'm still thinking about that, actually. I really enjoyed Gandalfing myself. If you haven't seen the 10 candles stream where I interact with 10 candles for the first time, with Isabets and Sarah and Danny and a whole bunch of really great people, it's on YouTube now, and you can find that on our social medias because I posted it because I want everyone to see it. So I play Panabon on Sunday nights, and coming in the new year, I'll be playing Zordon, Bulk Skull, Ernie, and Rita, all the NPCs of the Power Ranger universe in Becoming Mighty and Morphin, which is coming to you through our Alternia archive, our podcasting arm of the Realm Alternus universe. I'm also going to be doing a whole bunch of Zordoning during our Streamathon, which is coming up in August to celebrate our anniversary under our inspiring leader, All Hail Rem, which Sarah will probably tell you about when we get to Sarah. Outside of what I do for Realm Alternus, my podcast, Everything is Gay, Even the Straight Stuff. We have a new episode coming out this week on Tuesday, because that's when my episodes drop there. And I'm going to be talking about the 1988 seminal Tim Burton classic, Beetlejuice. I'm also working on doing special episodes with people that have a passion for something. So if you know me, either in the REM network or just you know me somehow. If you have something that you want to talk about in pop culture, I'm willing to do a special episode with anybody that wants to do it. So come join my other podcast, be part of the experience. And I have my horror sci-fi audio drama, Surf City Donuts, which is my ode to Night Vale and Ray Bradbury. And those episodes theoretically come out every other Thursday, in theory. But right now we're a quarter of the way through season 2, so I'm feeling good about it. Come join the fun. Join us here at REM.
All right. Sounds good. And then moving in another side-to-side direction of one side or the other. I'm giving up on directions now. Alex, hello from Chicago.
Hey guys, so as most of you guys know, this, like Joey, this is my only stream. So in my real life, I am training like mad for my black belt in karate, which is less than a month away now. Woo! And I'm extremely nervous about it. So if anyone wants to send out good vibes into the universe, I will take them. Thank you.
You know, you can also get extra good vibes by becoming a Power Ranger at the Streamathon, too. That'll give you some extra good vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I might need to wait that till after I get the black belt, so, I could, focus on training for that first. But I did watch your 10 Candles episode, and I just want to say, you guys really killed it. Seriously. Oh, my God. So entertaining.
Awesome.
Technically, Danny killed it, like, a lot.
All of
died.
Them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yes, the much
killed all of them.
Yes, it was not what I would call good times, but it was good times. And so with that, we're going to move over to Rem Alternus herself, Sarah. What's going on with Rem Alternus? Sarah?
The biggest new news is that today the new website launched. So it's remalternus.com. It's way prettier than the old one. Unfortunately, all of our sublinks are broken right now. So like remalternus.com/kick needs to get fixed and stuff. So that'll be fixed by next week. So, but yeah, it is gorgeous. Go check it out. We've got bios and stuff for a lot of our core team. We have featured streams. We have our We Support page. We have all kinds of cool stuff. You can even join our mailing list from there and get all the news of all the things happening. It's pretty cool. What else is happening?
It looks gorgeous.
Isn't it pretty? It is so pretty.
It definitely looks more like a website and less like a beginner's WordPress.
Yeah.
So.
It is still WordPress though.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So Sarah, do you have to be a member of the Rem Alternus family if you want to be a part of the Streamathon?
Oh, we're going to the Streamathon. Okay. The Streamathon.
You asked for other things. I'm just trying to help.
The Streamathon is happening August 27th through the 28th. It starts at 10 a.m. Central and ends at 10 p.m. or no, 9 p.m. Central with like Clockwork. So that is a fun time. And really, it's open to the community. It's a celebration of when we started streaming. It's usually around the anniversary, but not this time. We pushed it a little bit. But come play with us. We've got, Power Rangers and D&D, and I'm sure Shadowrun, and like, I'm not even sure of all the shows that are on the docket, but you can join our Discord server. I'll put the little command in here, and that's where you go to learn more.
Did Hal get my memo for Paranoia? Did someone talk him into that? Because I really want to.
I think it filled up. I think our Streamathon schedule filled up faster than Hal could agree. So, but a lot of great shows. Really excited, and we also have our brand new Learn to Play program. So if you've ever wanted to learn D&D and didn't have the people or the time or know where to start, join our Discord server as well, because once a month now we do a character creation session and a one-shot session. So you can join and learn how to play with us, which is super cool. I'm hosting the character creation one for August, so that's super cool. I think
It is cool.
And it's free.
Yeah.
It's a free service we're offering to you,
Yeah.
the viewer.
But I think I just went through 3 things, so I'll stop there for now. Hang out to learn more.
Hang out to learn more. And now that Sarah has gone through 3 things, we're going to go ahead and get into this game. It's about time. When we last left off, our adventurers were on the train heading north from the desert kingdom of Aishan to the northern hemisphere and the continent of Ireland, where Shaelune is from. And while they were on the train was, much to Panabon's chagrin, attacked by what they thought were bandits. Turns out it was actually some sort of corporate extraction attempt to steal some prototypes from.
You didn't have to go that far out from my birthday. Like, I appreciate allowing me to kill things, but it seemed a little bit overboard to also attack my mentor. But it's okay.
Yes.
I love you all still.
So, yes, the great inventor Nugatza Senato was on board, who had befriended the party earlier. And there was apparently a prototype of some sort that Professor Senato was working on, which the group discovered quite by accident when they almost literally pulled it from the clutches of the extractors by activating it and realizing that it was some sort of automaton that had been interlaced with magical workings, creating a sort of sentient android played by Joy. The sentient android imprinted on Lex and Panabon.
My baby!
Probably the 2 best characters that it could have imprinted on.
I'm a great mom.
I'm gonna say best.
I'm a great mom.
So, and then immediately doing great violence upon the extractors before realizing that, or before kind of ending everything there. So Nugatza Senato and Callus, his assistant, are setting up some sort of means to sort of test what the capabilities are of this android, while Shaelune went to her room to consider everything that had been going on, and the others sat to sort of discuss maybe their next moves. The night ended, and we pick up after a very restful night, so everyone managed to get a proper long rest in. As you wake to the train slowing down and stopping. That is what wakes you up.
Haven't we just been on the train for a day?
You have just been on the train for a little over a day now, so this would not be the stop you're expecting.
So as I wake up, can I check the train brochure and see like what the schedule says about stops?
Certainly, you can look at that kind of simultaneously. You can see out the window. You are not stopping just out in the middle of nowhere. You appear to be stopping in some small, looks like a town of some sort. The architecture of what buildings there are reminds you more of Ireland style buildings rather than Vaishan style buildings. If you had to make a guess, you would guess you were in somewhere just across the border of Edivund, which is which is the southmost country of Ireland that borders Vaishan. And
is there a way to get on top of the train? Just temporarily.
So yes and no, not that is readily apparent to you right away from inside, but once it stops and you're outside, obviously you can climb up. And there are some parts near the back of the train where things are wrecked and blown up and open to the elements. So
I don't want to go that far. I just wanted to get on top if I could to give myself higher advantage.
Right. You've got pretty decent advantage even just from the windows. Like you're not going into a city where there's tall buildings around. It's very much a town. The rail is going through it, and as you are stopping, even as you're slowing down even more, you realize that you're stopping in what is being built up as a train station. So it's not a full train station. You can tell that it's not open yet, but they are definitely building. You can see that there are tracks, additional tracks for there to be like some change offs or for cars to be moved on and off.
So, sorry, Danny, you can continue. I'll wait.
So yeah, that is what is happening in this moment. The train is stopping.
Since I'm roommates with Panabon, and I can see that they are actively trying to open the window, presumably to get out on top of the train, I go, Panabon, we can see perfectly clearly from the windows. I don't really think you need a vantage point for this.
I mean, you say that, but it's just nice to be tall. I mean, you take it for granted that you are tall. I am, in fact, not tall. And it's very impolite to stand on top of a dragon's head. I learned that from personal experience a long time ago. Don't ask me why.
You should ask permission before you step on a dragonborn's head. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, there was some inebriation involved, so it's a whole other story. But it's this town doesn't look like anyone's going to try to come onto the train and squeeze me like a tube of toothpaste again. So we're probably fine.
Yeah, but we're definitely going to go stare threateningly at people, right? Like that's still part of our.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, we should teach my son how to stare threateningly. Oh, that would be such a good life lesson to learn.
Yeah, I think they would be good at that. They've got that face, the eyes. I think that would work well. We also think our new friend Drew's room, I believe.
Yeah, I think we're also over the line into the new continent. I think these the buildings are kind of. I don't know. Do you like the architecture? I have feelings. Not enough sharp angles. Looks like it would be hard to stand on.
My father's an architect, so I do have opinions. But unfortunately, I didn't pay a lot of attention when he talked about stuff. So I don't know if they're based on anything.
Oh. Well, hopefully that'll make Shaelune happy.
Wait, no, don't tell Shaelune that my dad's an architect. No, that we should not tell her that.
No, just like seeing buildings that look like home, I'd assume, I guess.
Oh,
maybe that will bring her some joy. I don't know.
I don't think she'll like our plan to go stare threateningly at new passengers. So maybe
this is your plan. You're taking all the credit for this plan.
Okay, fine. You go get Drew and Rogelio Jr. I'm going to go stand in a place where I can be casual yet threatening.
Okay. And then I'm going to go off to Drew and Rogelio's cabin room, and I'm going to knock on the door in a signal that I have not told anybody about until this very moment in time.
that normally how people knock?
No.
Good
no, it's not.
morning or afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I don't know how long I slept.
I will go over and open the door. Hello.
Oh,
You
Dad.
should never open doors without making sure you know who's on the other side of them. Dangerous.
I heard you.
Oh, yeah, I
Good
talk a
morning.
lot. Also, good morning. Hello. We're going to go and stare menacingly at people as they get on the train if anyone would like to join. It's Peruna's idea, Avril's idea. It's Perunavrol's idea. What name are we using? I don't know. It's the Purple Dragon's idea.
Well, I'll be along shortly if Rogelio Jr. wants to go ahead and join you.
It's
Absolutely.
important to learn.
People watching.
Well, yes, but also staring menacingly at them and knowing that if they mess with us, they'll get the there's a saying about it. They get something. Anyways, we'll stare at them and they'll feel very nervous. It's great. It's good to learn how to stare menacingly at people. That's going to be today's life lesson.
I'd like to change the little colors that my eyes glow to a reddish, if possible, instead of the typical yellow.
Sure.
Oh.
That is just a quick refraction that you can conduct in your eye lens to do that. It makes everything really bright for you because we'll say that that's how you set it up to see in when it's a little bit darker, so it's brightening everything. But you know,
it's kind of detrimental, but like that's how we do it.
that's
A child is talented. Oh, it's so
right.
good.
The fashion over function. Panabon would be proud. Shaelune, as you're waking up and Lex is also kind of sitting up. You're looking in the brochure and this particular train, it doesn't seem to generally stop anywhere between Gilaluti and Castanede in Melved. So this is definitely not a scheduled stop. But given the location that it does seem to be stopping, maybe it just has to do with the attack, the damage to the train from before. So
that makes sense. Considering that, I'll just kind of roll over, take out my spell book, and start my morning reading that I haven't done in what feels like ages, and take my time doing my routine that makes me comfortable.
And you can definitely hear Panabon in the hallway. It's definitely one-sided. You hear Panabon speaking, and then whoever is responding probably a little bit not at a Panabon level of volume. Which is
dutifully ignore it.
Which is the most ironic thing, given that when they need to and want to, Panabon can be exceptionally silent. However,
more Pochrin's job. Panabon doesn't need to be silent. Pochrin does. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. Lex, you see Shaelune is studiously nose in a book. You can hear Panabon outside already talking to Rogelio and telling him what and how.
Because Panabon is my co-parent, I'm going to ignore it for the time being. I'm gonna yawn and walk over to Shaelune and look over into her book as she's reading. Should I take care of that? And I'm gonna can I try and read what she's reading over her?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh dear God. It's not good.
It's magic. You're not sure what kind of magic, but you know enough to know that it's the kind of magic where even if you understood what it said, it would bring you no joy to read it. It'd be like reading a part of a physics textbook.
I'm going to continue pretending to know what I'm doing as I stand really close to Shaelune and read it. So
I'll take a little look up and say, do you know, okay, let's see. At this point, I'm going to be researching. I'm going to be thinking about the battery powered thing, and trying to finagle that into adding length to my beads, to be able to hold out the spells a little bit longer. So that is what I'm trying to like work through and write and kind of puzzle through. Are you familiar with artificing or magic?
oh, absolutely not at all. My magic comes naturally.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to share and discuss. Here, this is what I'm doing. So, you know the beads. I haven't given you one yet, but I usually give them to Perunia and, well, so basically it contains a spell, and when it's smashed, it triggers that spell, so they can use it like they're casting. But the problem is, it only seems to last for the day, and then when I rest, it goes poof. And then I have to reset the spell the following day if they weren't used. So what this would do is, with this stone that Nugatza, I have a little one that I've been studying, and it powers this little device. But this stone acts as a magical battery of sorts. And we saw it a bit in our big fight before you joined us. But what would be fascinating is if we can infuse that somehow into the bead or another object. It doesn't have to be a bead. But when triggered, it would use it up, but it may hold it longer. So for instance, you could have a backup spell stored for a month or longer. And imagine like the that could be something that's sold, it could be marketed, or for us, of course, it would be great to have a backup of powerful spells to get out of a jam, especially if we're separated, so that they have some magic on their side as well. So that's kind of what I'm puzzling through now, is what would that device look like to store this and the spell at the same time? What would the trigger be? And there could be multiple triggers as well. So puzzling through how that would work. That's my goal this morning.
That's a lot of science.
In all honesty, Sin, I probably would have gone on, but you were being too polite to interrupt me, so I stopped myself.
Lex is also too polite.
Lex never looks over the spell book again.
Never. Have you? So the beads are connected to you?
In a way, it's powered by my magic, and it seems to dissolve when I rest, as I said. But it seems if I give the bead away, there hasn't seemed to be any length of distance or anything that stops it from working. Although we haven't exactly been far enough away from each other. I just realized I was doing the wrong accent this whole time, so I'm going to switch it now. I was in Curie mode. Who's also a nerdy wizard type. I have a brand.
Well, and you see Lex sits down and crosses his legs, and he pulls out a little dart from his sleeve, and he's gonna try and start scraping a picture into the floor of this room, and draws little circles.
I have
what if
paper and a pen, if you prefer.
No. There's no need to waste paper. And I continue to draw. What if you can connect the magic to another plane.
Like the Shadow Fae.
Yeah. There, and I like pull out a little stone. Like this has magic. I'm not actually sure how it works, but I know it makes me a little extra good at things. It's like my good luck charm. And I kind of found it near one of those areas.
Another plane?
Like near where the shadow stuff falls in here.
A portal.
Yeah, that.
Right.
So if a rock can get lucky, could you not just do that with beads?
To throw it through a portal and see if it works over there?
Or like use that magic?
Use the magic from the Shadow Fae. Is that what you said?
Yes. Maybe.
Interesting. May I look at the stone?
I look at it for a second and I reluctantly hand it to you.
10 minutes later, I've cast Identify.
So it's a gray stone, cat's head, carved. One eye socket is got a green sparkling gem lodged into it. When you cast Identify, it is magic. It's hard to describe, but the best you can get out of it, the sense of positive luck. It is something that would give someone good luck. In mechanical terms, it's +1 to ability checks and saving throws.
Fascinating. Interesting. I'm gonna take lots of notes on this, because harnessing luck, I mean, luck is a form of magic, I guess, on its own, whether or not you believe in it. Interesting. Here's your stone.
Thanks.
And then she just, like, still mumbling, but more, like, incoherently, because it's in fractured phrases to herself, she, like, starts writing in her spellbook a ton more, like, on a new page, and, like, draws a picture of your stone, and, like, starts taking copious notes.
So if Shaelune has stopped paying attention to me, I'm gonna use this opportunity to leave because I regret all this science talk.
Good.
I'm gonna stealthily, like, I haven't stood up yet, so I'm just gonna scoot back through the doorway until I get out in the hallway.
Shaelune, did you hand the stone back?
Yeah.
Or are you okay? All right. All right, so you come out in the hallway in time to see Panabon. Which way are you taking Rogelio?
Which way did Perunia go? This is Peruna's idea, so I'm assuming I saw the direction Perunia went.
So you're just like exiting the train?
Are we exiting the train to meet mug people, or were we just going to like the baggage cart area to meet mug people?
Are you asking me? I did not
Yes.
inform you, to be perfectly honest. So I said I was going to go find a place where I could be casual, and still threatening.
Okay, well then Lex is going to find Panabon and potentially Rogelio. And Panabon is saying, well, I don't know where Avril went to meet mug people, but this is a good opportunity to have breakfast or whatever passes for breakfast on the train. So we'll do that. Or I'll do that.
Okay.
You'll watch me? You don't eat. It's very... Because eating is like a big thing. So like, I don't know. Maybe you should have like a prop teacup and like prop toast so that like people feel like they can like commune with you through food. Like having props is always a good idea.
So just empty plates.
Oh,
No, like you could put like could like paint you something, and then like you don't eat it. Like I could, like if you find some like clay, we could like mold it into like a piece of toast, so it looked like toast, and then it would give people the visual.
And Lex, you're catching this as they're walking towards the dining car to the front. So you see them go through the door.
I could take the food and just store it somewhere else discreetly until later, and then get rid of it. I don't know if that holds the same effect.
The whole thing is to be able, it's about the idea of learning how to share a meal. It's also learning about what stuff doesn't smell. Because if you can't get rid of it right away and it starts to smell, that's bad. So it's also like, what kind of stuff wouldn't go bad that you'd have to save until later? What kind of stuff could you give away to the less fortunate? Like what I do when I relocate things to other places, which is exactly how I do it.
I'll have to look into this more.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and walk in step with them and just pretend like I was there the whole time.
And I'm just going to say hello behind me because I feel like even without turning my head, I'd probably be like, oh, your mother's here.
Oh, Mom, hello. How are you doing today?
Hello, my brain hurts.
Oh, well, I know you were so quiet yesterday. I'm so happy you're feeling better.
Is Shaelune always full of science? Rogelio?
Whenever she's not trying to light me on fire or stopping me from having fun, yes.
I heard Shaelune is a very magical person.
It's
I
true.
think so. Yeah.
Probably the most magical person in the world, and that is something to be awed by and also something to fear in equal measures.
Absolutely. I would love to meet her one day.
I think that would be a really fun time for all of us. Yes.
Oh, Rogelio Jr., your eyes, they're different.
I was told this is how we have to stare at people for the time being. It has to be red.
We're teaching people to fear us. We are mean mugging. We were going to mean mug with Avril, but I have no idea which direction Avril went. So now we're just going to practice having breakfast because I feel like the red eyes will do a lot of the journey work for us here.
Is red scary? I find black is a lot scarier when I go like this, and like my eyes are gonna change, so like all of them and the sclera just turn black all across.
That's disquieting. I am very disquieted. So yes.
I think I just shut the lights off in my eyes and it goes black. Just looks like I'm turned off.
It doesn't
Exactly
work as
like
well
that.
for you.
It's dark in here now.
It just kind of looks like you're sleeping. I think maybe red will be good for you. Every person scary is different. Like
Maybe,
people
yeah.
don't realize I'm scary until I have a dagger inside of them, and then they're scared of me.
I was pretty scared of you from day one. You were.
Well, the giant stone wasp probably didn't help.
No,
and that wasn't my fault. So.
I mean, you took me there.
I mean, but you didn't die, and that's always good. That's a great way to live your life of not dying.
Is this what you're teaching our son?
No, that's like
good.
lesson 4. We're only on lesson 2.
Okay. So we're getting food.
You're standing around the table, like talking and not sitting down. It's like this moment where you've stopped walking. You're talking to each other, but haven't taken a seat. There is no one else in the dining car, though.
Are there still bloodstains on the carpet?
Yeah, those are probably not ever coming out. The person who did the cleaning, bless their heart, they tried. They tried, but probably wasn't in the job description.
I feel bad for them. They probably weren't ready for that. We should probably sit down.
Yeah. How do we order? I don't see anybody.
Well, last time we were here, we ordered and then giant machines came through the wall. So I don't know what the precedent is either. But I got like half a sandwich down before we were attacked. So If history is any indication, we'll get half a sandwich in.
Good enough for me. And I sit down.
Yes, I don't.
Also, I have been imparting a lot of moments of wisdom. So obviously, any moments of wisdom that you have to impart to our wondrous magical child who knows things, this is a great time to start that.
Don't ask Shaelune about her book.
I don't. I've never met Shaelune. I need to, but I won't. I won't for sure.
Or do. It depends. Do you like science? Do you like magic?
Yeah, they're pretty simple concepts.
Oh. Okay, maybe
I
you
wouldn't
can.
say that to Shaelune. That's not something you should say to Shaelune. That is
Science, not magic. Magic is very complex. The science part is a little easier.
I would say both of those things, probably things that we should keep inside our head and not vocalize.
Okay.
Which is you should say as I do as I say, not as I do, because I say everything that I think. So yes.
Perinia, where are you headed again?
Perina's gone.
Perinia's gone.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Okay. Well,
go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Perunia headed wherever she was heading, and there is no stopping her.
that's right. That is exactly what
On a
happened.
mission.
She didn't even leave any arrows on the wall to let us know where she was going to meet mug people.
I look for breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
There's a knock on your door, Shaelune.
Hello?
Yes, I suppose you're in there, Miss Shaelune. You hear the voice of Callus, the assistant for Nugatza. I was wondering if you knew where everyone else might be?
And she fumbles to be polite and, pushes the book off the bed and kind of climbs up and bustles to the door and kind of opens it and peeks out and up and says, hi, no, they all made a bit of noise a bit ago and I don't know where they went.
Oh, I see. Very good. We found a place to stage a few tests with the new Rogelio, I think they named it. Were you going to join us for that?
Is Rogelio the construct?
Yes, that is the name that they gave it.
Of course they did. Yes, I would be interested in observing.
Certainly, if you could then just meet us on the platform in, let's say, 10 minutes.
Oh, all right. Yes, I can do that. Hold on, and I'll close the door, scribble on a scrap of paper. Studying construct begins on platform in 10 minutes. And then I roll it up, give it to Minya, and say, go find them and give it to Perunia.
Okay. The little creature quickly scampers out of the room and down the hallway very quickly with your little note wrapped up in its fuzzy tail, or its tail with the little fuzzy tuft at the end. And Callus nods and says, we'll see you then. And then she proceeds towards the front. Perunia, where did you head? Did Perunia walk away again? Okay. Excellent.
Does Minia come by? Because we don't know what direction Perunia went, so does Minia come by the dining car?
I don't know yet, but Callus comes by the dining car. That is where she was headed next, because she was coming
That's
from the
very
back and just
handy.
moving to the front. So she
We're all
did
sitting at
fine.
an empty table, just waiting. Like,
I
heard
like
you say that,
Callus.
so.
The Callus is a very industrious character. I appreciate that.
She finds all of you there. Oh, excellent. I was just looking for you all. We've procured a lot with which to do any testing.
Ooh. The art of performance. This will be
When
a
is
good
that?
lesson for you.
If you could just meet on the platform in just under 10 minutes, then
Oh,
we'll proceed.
That's about half a sandwich time. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
That refers to when we had to have a sandwich and then we were attacked by the bandits with the machine. So it's a whole thing. Sandwich time is a whole thing.
I'll take your word for it. And with that, she turns and heads to the back. Perunia.
I think she really likes me. I just kind of look to the rest of the room. I think she really likes me.
Where did Perunia head off to?
Yeah, so Prunia was what she had in her mind is that if there are going to be people boarding, she wanted to be able to get a good look at them. She also doesn't want to be super noticeable because attracting undue attention is also not super great. But this isn't one of my strengths as a big 6'5" dragonborn. So she's looking for a place where like they would have to come through once they gave the conductor or whoever their ticket, but like just like casually, like with a newspaper, like mean mugging them and saying, okay, who's getting on the train, what are their intentions, do they look like regular travelers or somebody I should be suspicious of,
Okay.
which again isn't great because she doesn't really have good perceptions of individuals.
What's the newspaper? That's amazing.
So you're stepping off the train then onto the platform?
Yeah, I would imagine
Okay.
so.
All right. Once you do so, you notice that there are a lot of people just out on the platform. None of them have any luggage. There are a lot of the people that that are out there as well are in the uniforms of the various employees from the train, and they're just in groups chatting. As you're kind of sitting, you feel a little something like tap on your leg, and then looking down, you see Minya crawling up the side of you with a little note wrapped in her little tail.
Minya, Prunia holds her gently. What do you have there?
The note basically reads to meet on the platform, which, ta-da, in roughly 10 minutes time. And Minya gives a little squeak, a little like closing of the eyes, and then, as you pat their head and then hops away back towards the train.
Okay.
A few moments later, you see Nugatza Senato walking out and just kind of looking up and down the platform. He notices you and waves and sidles over.
Damn it, so much for being not noticeable, she says to herself.
So, this was fortuitous that that the station was here. We should, I believe, according to the conductor, only be here for a day. This will put us back a day, and then we'll be back on the rail by tomorrow, I believe. So that gives us a little bit of time to check out the Rogelio's capabilities. And I do believe I found a place that we should be able to do that without anyone bothering us.
Is this a city that we've stopped at? I'm guessing to fix the train and resupply?
The city is a that's giving them a bit much. It is a town. It is the last town out of Edmund um, before going into the desert. So they are building this station here for the rail to make a stop. And then eventually, I believe the plan is for them to have trains that actually stop in various towns, as well as the transcontinental, which will tend to stop in fewer places. Currently, the rail here runs from Gilaladi straight to Castanede and doesn't stop anywhere, but that should change in the future, in the next year or so. Anyway, so that's why you see construction going on now here and about, and so this wasn't intended to be stopped, but they are unhitching the rear trains. They're moving the cargo into another train car that happens to be here, and then they'll hitch that one back on so that we can continue the journey safely. Sans one dining car, I believe.
Yeah, there's no roof anymore, so I think that's probably a safe bet.
Yes, yes, but we do need a place to put people's bags. They did bring them, and I suppose they did pay a decent sum to have their baggage arrive alongside them. So
So where did you say that you secured a location? I look around the town.
it's going to be just. He points, and you see that where he's pointing, there appears to be some sort of warehouse in that direction. You can just barely make out what appears to be some sort of logo, just like these three round humps that are like at the top of a logo that's blocked by everything else. But yeah, just a warehouse that's just directly in the direction he's pointing. Um, there's a storehouse there. That's where a lot of the building supplies and everything come in and go out, and we should be able to work there in fair privacy.
Okay, this is going to sound like a weird question, but who gave you the recommendation of this place in particular?
Oh,
And does it have windows? You know what? I'll go check. I'm just concerned that if other people see Rogelio's demonstration, that they're going to have more people after them, not less.
I appreciate your the extent to which you're going to ensure that everything is kept hidden from prying eyes. Certainly, go ahead and look. The warehouse does belong to the company that I used to work for, but it would be good to make sure that there are no windows or ways for people to peer in while we conduct these tests. So, and then we'll just meet you there.
Okay. And with that, Perunia will give him a little salute and go off her merry way.
And yeah, and so as you walk, he kind of just like rocks on his heels and toes a little bit, waiting for the others to come out. Is anybody doing anything before coming out onto the platform? Nope. All right. Well,
I just in case some tomfoolery happens, I have a little bag that is like a little go bag thing with some extra coins and a couple of things and a couple of masks. So I just make myself a little go bag in case hilarity happens and I need a go bag, or if this is like the Oasis and we get accosted by water demons. I like to be prepared. So I just make a little go bag out of my supplies.
very good. All right. So with that, you head out. Perunia, just really quickly, go ahead and make an investigation test as you get around to that area.
Yep. Yes, I have that. Am I skilled in that? No, but I have that.
Well, I will say this. You don't see any windows to the warehouse. And not you don't see them and they're there. There are no windows. Like that is just super obvious. There's no windows in the warehouse. It's just a large building. There's a fenced area that is there's like a chain link fence that fences off a lot of it. You see a lot of it. It looks just like a storage yard for there's rail ties, there's steel bars. It's everything that they're needing to like create and build this station, right? The symbol that you see is 3 spirals that are kind of interlocked into a chain, and the Melvedian word, you don't know the word, but you presume it's because it's a name, and it's Starike or Steric, something like that, just kind of sounding out the letters. So, but yeah,
As one of my favorite activities is while Perunia is looking elsewhere and being busy, is standing right behind Perunia and then saying hello. So as we enter the building,
You know
whenever
that's
that is,
bad for your health, right?
I'm sure you'll be fine as long as you don't kick me.
So what I'll have you do is give us that stealth check, but we'll adjudicate that on the other end of a quick break as we have reached our sort of pseudo midway point for tonight's session. And we'll
And
see.
if you'd like a Minia of your very own, I believe there are stickers of Minia available on our Etsy store. Isn't that correct, Sarah? We have some.
Do we have Minia stickers?
Merchandise? I think we have something with Minia on it, don't we?
We definitely have art.
We have the art piece. So it's an 11 by 17 Minya art piece.
Yes.
If you'd like that, check out our Etsy store.
Yeah, Etsy, and you can look up Rem Alternus there. REMALTERNIS. Thank you, everyone.
See you in a few. Welcome back. We left off. Everyone was headed over to this warehouse that Nugatza Senato had somehow procured for use to sort of test some of Rogelio's abilities. And Perunia went first to kind of look around, and as she was kind of looking into the sort of fenced area in the back, suddenly Panabon says from just behind her,
Hello.
My God. She turns. Oh, Malfruin. Panabon. Okay, like, don't sneak up on me. Like, not cool. The last several people who did that got full-on punched in the face. And that hurt them in a not good way. Thank you for at least saying hello and not just touching me. That was also a safe choice.
I was doing some mild graffiti outside. I have a little paint thing with me. But I also want to say hello. Is that a question you really want the answer to?
No, I don't.
The point is, I was making an eyeball. So if our mutual friend comes, then they'll know where we are.
Okay, but this actually brings up a really important point here, Panabon, because I was trying to do some recon of this building, failing at it entirely, when I realized it would be really helpful if I were small and sneaky. And then I was like, hey, wow, that's something Panabon probably should be doing instead of me. So, can you look around to see if anyone could, like, see or observe the test that Rogelio is going to do?
I totally bet they can, because it's probably a trap. But I'm happy to look around if you'd like me to.
Okay, I'll follow you. So if it is a trap, I'll get you out of the trap or be trapped with you. One of the two.
That.
Yeah.
So that's
We're not very far behind.
Panabon is here mostly because everyone else has also arrived at the front, and Nugatza opens the front door and enters. Everyone follows behind who wants to follow behind. Is anyone not following behind? Very good. You are in a large warehouse. There's an open area kind of right in the front. There's crates. There's all sorts of stuff just set up. There's very large rolling doors on the side of the building where the tracks would be. And then there are smaller sets of rolling doors on the other side. Nugatza enters like an office, and you hear some conversation happening. A few moments later, he steps out with another individual who looks like he's just the person who's there to kind of maintain and watch the warehouse during the day. And that person just kind of smiles, shakes Nugatza's hand with like both of his hands, very excited to see this guy, and then turns and looks at you and stops and looks at Rogelio for a second, and then points at Nugatza and then points at Rogelio and just kind of nods and smiles and exits.
I lean over to Perunia and go, "You missed the guy in the office."
She knows.
Yeah. You hadn't gone inside yet. So with that, as he steps out, Panabon, give me a history check.
Give you a history check. Am I any good at history?
You're not horrible at history, but your DC for this is not very high.
Nugatsu history, I feel like,
I don't know if it's Nugatsu history, but I got a 7, so...
That was not very good.
If that's Nugatsu related, maybe I should have rolled with advantage, but also it just wasn't very good, so I don't know.
Yeah, when it's something that you would definitely be good at, I tend to lower the DC for you.
Even with the lowered DC, I'm guessing I just missed something. I got cocky. That's my problem, is I wasn't actually paying as much attention as I should have.
Right, and that's what's going on here. You all notice that this is some sort of like a corporate building almost. So Shaelune, you do know that this building, you saw the logo out front and the words Starike, and you know that this building does apparently belong to the biggest sort of energy and tech company in Ireland, which is Starike. They're like, they make most of the trains, they make most of the energy stations, electricity, stuff like that, power. A lot of that is run through this company, like sets all that up. So it's very obvious that the guy who was manning the desk knows who Nugatza Senato is, and that sort of makes sense to you.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
So overwhelmed by the display of power to come that we lost Perunia.
For just a moment. All right. And so with that, they walk you out, Rogelio, kind of to the center, and they step back a little bit, and Nugatza looks and says, well, let's see. There are a few things that we sort of planned for. I anticipated that it is odd calling him Rogelio, but that is the name, and we will respect that. That I imagined...
7-day trial. If they want to change it within 7 days, we're testing it out. That's what it is.
Certainly. So when we built him with the idea that there would probably be certain needs and means. So there is a pack that is on the back underneath the jacket, hard to see. There are cables then and hoses that run throughout. And so I believe if we've set things up right, that he should be able to produce effects perhaps from the hands, perhaps projectiles, perhaps a spray of some sort. But honestly, we hadn't loaded anything up. I am interested in seeing how the magic will work, the way it will interconnect. So, Rogelio, if there's anything you think you might just like to try.
I mean, I could just go off and try anything. Or did you have a specific of which way you wanted to do it?
Let's keep it within. Let's try not to cause destruction to a great degree. If you break something, a little something here and about, I don't think there's anything in here that can't just simply be replaced. But we do want to just keep it from being wanton.
Gotcha. Okay. Then we'll start with the tubing and piping and of that effect, and what I can do to some degree with that. And as I do the kind of like the hand piece up on the construct, kind of just tilts back. And as it does, there's a small hose sticking out of the wrist that just produces a flame. It doesn't sound like anything's blowing out or, like a lighter sound would make, but it does just kind of appear once that opens up. And it will kind of just sit there indefinitely for a bit.
Huh.
I found out when heating the metal, when I first was turned on, that to some degree, flame and heats kind of have a second. It's like a second nature to me. I haven't really played with that because we were inside a train, and I've heard that blowing up trains with fire isn't the best thing to. That's how roofs get turned off. So we didn't want to really test that in there. But if everything in here can be replaced, that's perfectly fine then.
Yes. Interesting. Is that just limited to being handheld as like a light source, or what are you able to fire that at something, or to I don't know, throw it?
Yeah, I'm sure I could throw it. I don't think it would last if I did. But I could definitely give it a toss. And as he says that, he kind of just winds up and throws it. It stays on until it gets around like 30 feet away from me, or across like good distance away from the warehouse, and the flame just kind of poofs after that. But it stays perfectly lit up till then.
That's quite interesting. Well, so an ability to create a small flame and burn it if necessary. Interesting. Let's see. What else? I believe we saw that you have the ability to conduct heat through some metallic object, even at a distance. So there's that. Let's see.
So the second affinity that really works with that is when it comes to steam or any kind of mist. And I'm going to cast a spell, Fog Cloud, which creates like a pretty big like cloud in the room, just on the other side of the room. Once again, from a distance from me, but using the energy that I kind of feel like can kind of alter certain spaces that aren't immediately within my reach, and kind of mix it or shape it into whatever I need for the moment.
That is fascinating. I wonder if that has to do with the heat principle. Perhaps you are causing a rapid dispensation of heat, which causes the condensation to quickly accumulate. Interesting.
More or less, yes, exactly.
I wonder if the two could be combined so that you could release the mist, and then say that mech that we thought was in that mist, could you heat that mist to become very hot?
I can try. Did we want to set up something maybe to try to use that on? If there's like a barrel, or I'm not sure if there's any kind of like metal container or something like that somewhere.
There's some like railroad tie or railroad link bars, like steel bars for creating railroad ties in here. So
I'd like to pick one up, if possible. I don't know how big the bars are. I'd like to pick one up and kind of put it over to where the mist area is, and then back up again. And I'm going to cast a spell which kind of condenses the mist into one smaller cloud above the barrel. And then I'm going to cast a spell, Call Lightning, which would heat it up intensely, and the lightning would shoot down and hit the barrel.
Yeah, so what happens is a little bit different from what perhaps Shaelune was thinking. But yes, from within this cloud, this large cloud, electricity just starts to streak through it and hit the railroad tie and travel through. And it does create a lot of lightning effects within this.
Mist and heat.
Interesting. So, Nugatza, how customizable is the chassis to be able to, for instance, produce that flame in the palm? But what if we were to enhance and upgrade that could spray perhaps an alcohol or an oil while the flame was there and shoot hot liquid, for instance?
Well, this is all very, very theoretical. The chassis itself, we could set up and customize for a variety of uses. That said, the Nazora's core, it's hard to say if what is going on here is the result of a simple power on, or if there's some other manifestation occurring here. You see, we did intend on using the Nazoras as a power source. We did not intend on awakening Rogelio through the magical abilities of another individual, as he indicates to Lex. So, hard to say if this is even repeatable to this extent. I do wonder.
Should I try to tap in more so to the core's power rather than natural? Or around me?
I mean, if you believe that there's something that you could do.
I've definitely never tried it, but if everything can be replaced and everyone is a safe distance away.
And
sure.
with that, he takes like several steps back.
Gotcha. I'll do this. All right, as that happens, I try to activate the core that's in the center, very Iron Man-esque, my body. And as it does, it kind of like ticks on slowly. And as it does, it begins to go a bright blue color, which almost puts like a small aura around me, so to speak. You can definitely tell by like the waves of the heat of the aura around me. It is probably like pretty hot to be like right next to me or close within my vicinity. And it's almost like a gust or some kind of like wind sound that goes along with it.
I imagine it like being inside of like a very intense sort of Tesla sort of contraption. Just a lot of like plasma type heat just like radiating out in this like 10-foot ball.
Gotcha.
I'm over by Drew at this point, and I'm like, hey Drew, any marshmallows? It's getting kind of warm in here.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Rookie. It's a rookie mistake.
I know.
After about a minute, that powers down. You can actually, you almost hear it like boom, like kind of power down, as if like it's expended the energy. That
definitely took a lot to do, by the way. Like I could maybe do that one more time, but I'd have to power off and kind of reset for a while if I were to do that again. I look a little, at least like a little exhausted, but exhausted in robot. So whatever that might mean.
Your eye lights are flickering a little bit.
I'm choosing to slouch right now. Yes.
Yes.
Do you need a chair, child?
And
would that help?
No. Not exactly how automaton work.
It's all rather interesting.
Nugatza, how fragile is that center that lit up? Because that to me identifies a target, perhaps, of shutdown if someone were to want to, like the gentleman on the train yesterday. So how fragile is that center?
I would say it's as fragile as your heart. That is to say, if someone were to try to attack that part specifically, if they were to hit it and with something that brought enough force with it, that could be quite destructive.
So some kind of armor hiding that spot might be advised.
Certainly. Obviously, the final plating and reinforcements would always be dependent on the needs of the device. As a general rule, I don't see why anyone would need to attack an automaton in most situations. I mean, I'm not.
I side-eye Nugatza, like...
I am not.
I just look at Perunia. I'm just like.
I'm not in the business of trying to create, perhaps, for lack of a new race of being. I am attempting to create an automaton that will effectively carry out tasks that are needed and are perhaps tedious or dangerous for people to perform. It's no different from an engine of any other sort.
Wait. Sorry. I don't mean to culture genius there, any sir, but with magic, it seems like he's very sentient. So the intention was essentially to create something that had consciousness, but not let them make
Absolutely
choices?
not. No, not at all. The Nazora's core was intended always. We envisioned, we theorized, we hypothesized that it would be a battery, merely a means to power, no different from a steam engine, except powered by the arcane. That sentience has somehow arisen within Rogelio was not planned whatsoever. And honestly, without further study and research, I could not tell you if that was even something that could be reproduced.
So the knowledge and personality all seems, according to you then, is coming from the core? You didn't build any of that functionality in?
We built a knowledge base, math, within. But this idea of it being sentient in the way that it is an individual creature with perhaps its own fate, for lack of a better word, that was not intended. And I do not know if that is simply a result of the Nazora's core, and then that would happen any time we were to do that, or if this is some anomaly, something that occurred because of the way the core was activated within the events surrounding that, or just simply, as far as we know, because we know very little, it could just be that the location we happened to be in when the core was charged led to sentience. Perhaps we were passing near a portal to the this shadow fae that others are studying. It is hard to say.
You had said you'd seemed astounded when Rogelio woke up. So what attempts did you make previously to turn on the construct?
Well, we first believed that simply cabling everything together would do it. That is how it worked in the generating machines that you saw previously. Once we incorporated the Nazoras within the device and connected the couplings, voila, it began to work. In this case, it did work in a sense that we could tell that the power had activated, but it wasn't actually powering the device in the way that we had thought. So we honestly, we're going to go back and reconfigure the connections within the device so that the limbs and other processes would be powered. So the thought of an impetus beyond hooking the engine to the chassis, that was not something that we were considering.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree. So, as I said, this is all very core to just additional research that will need to be done. And honestly, it would be quite irresponsible to attempt to immediately reconstruct this result. There's definitely a lot more studying that needs to go into what exactly Nazora's does and how it works and how it powers devices before we come back to attempting to power another automaton in this way or in a way similar.
Rogelio would want to put his hand up when you said that. Actually, it's like if I may, if the core being out is an issue like that, I can do self reconstruction and reconfigure it to either plate it or protect it a little more. If that is the main concern, is what it sounds like.
No, it's just questions about how you work, how you were designed, what you were designed for, versus how you work now, and what are your capabilities, but also what are potential weaknesses so we can protect against them.
And indeed, what are the ramifications? Because if it is as simple as placing a Nazora's core within any chassis and firing that up to create life,
So we should probably keep this a secret then, huh?
the hows and whys and wherefores, definitely. It will be difficult to keep that a secret, but exactly how it's working and how it came to be, certainly.
But we know it's not my fault, right? I'm not responsible for anything.
Mom, fault makes it sound like it's a bad thing.
We don't know that you, the means that you used are not the impetus behind this. It could very well be something in the way that you did it. For example, how you are able to create energy through your hands?
It's a dragonborn thing.
He looks to Perunia.
Usually, in my experience, when Perunia punches things, they lose life instead of gain it.
I mean, same. I usually don't bring things to life.
In any case, as I said, we cannot be sure without the further experimentation and testing, which for now, I believe the best way to see Rogelio's capabilities and to watch him grow would be to just observe as he goes about his newfound life. And Callus and I, along with certain other contemporaries in our field, will study separately the various component parts. I am not prepared to attempt another Nazora's core construct quickly, at any rate. So.
Well, somebody obviously knows enough about them to try to steal them. So I think we had talked about perhaps it was your competition, somebody who's trying to do something similar to some, competitive intelligence, but it sounds like somebody might already be trying to replicate this.
Certainly, the original core function that I spoke of, that is a automaton that is powered arcanely, not to replicate the sentience. As I said, until that very moment, that was not a consideration.
It occurs to me that those folks, even if their goal was the same as yours as you were starting out, to your point, if they see Rogelio and all the things that they can do, would perhaps be even more motivated to replicate the results. In which case, if I could make a suggestion, I think Rogelio might be better off going with us and staying underground, versus staying with you. Shaelune can provide different notes and all the tests, and you guys can correspond, but it seems very dangerous, especially knowing some of the dark forces in the world, that if they are able to see and observe Rogelio and they're working on this themselves, if Rogelio stays with you, they might be in danger, but also the dark forces out in the world might gain this knowledge.
That is definitely a consideration, and one that we will have to consider. He looks to Callus, who nods.
I slip Perunia a note while no one's paying attention to me, by the way.
I read it and nod quietly and pocket it.
Well, in any case, there are a lot of questions. The train should be leaving again in the morning. I believe that Starike has announced that they will comp every passenger some location within the town. I believe there's a rather nice hotel that is sort of relatively new. If that is to your liking, or of course you may stay on the train. This does bear thinking. It's very interesting. Yes.
I actually have a question. This is out of character, not in character. The box that we found Rogelio in, was that because on the map it looked like a sarcophagus, but I don't know if it was actually a sarcophagus or if it was just like a box.
I mean, it's a box that held a person-shaped automaton, so looking like a sarcophagus makes a lot of sense.
Okay,
but it was not a sarcophagus in any way to indicate that it was like something special. It was a box for a robot-shaped thing.
That was my question, if it was a special box or not. So, okay.
Yep. Well, looks like we haven't done too much damage within here. There's a little mark on the wall there, but unless there's anything else, I think we are done here for the moment.
Nugatza, when you have a moment, I'd like to ask you a question or two. Pick your brain.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We have the day. Let's take some time to set ourselves up for whatever folks plan on doing for the evening. I myself will be getting a room and probably reserving a table for dinner. if anyone is interested in attending. And then once we've done that, perhaps we can find some time to speak.
I like dinner.
Yes. Very good. Well, just let Callus know who else perhaps would like to attend, and she will set that up. Thank you. And with that, he, kind of muttering to himself, steps out and just kind of starts walking to the door, and barring anyone stopping him, exits.
I'm going to go over to Drew and go, hey, Drew, I want you to do me a favor.
All right.
For however long we're traveling together, I know that you do busking, so I'd love to do some busking with you at some point. Probably not here, because it's a small town. But would you teach my son to play some music? It's not a skill I have. I have many artisan skills, but music's not one of them. And it would be nice to have, for my son to have that if they so want. Maybe not bagpipes. I think bagpipes are an acquired taste, but like, people seem to like pianos and violins. They like a nice woodwind instrument kind of thing.
I would love to.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So exciting.
That would be. I have some. I am less settled than some people are about things. So I think art and music is nice. It's a nice way to. Yeah, it'll be good. But thanks for that.
Of course. Rogelio and I are still sharing a room, so I can teach him during the whole trip.
That'll be nice. That'll be good. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I know that because sometimes we get attacked by things and that scares people off. So I'm glad that like didn't like scare you off completely, because I know that like it's not an everyday thing to have people in giant metal capture machines coming in to space. So I appreciate you sticking around.
It was a little different, but
Yeah.
keeps things exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So if you ever come across someone that doesn't have hands and has a supernaturally long tongue, run from them. That's kind of the first lesson I learned. So if you ever have that happen to you, that like, you just want to run from that, just as far and fast as you can get, just away.
All right. I do think though, at some point I would like to hear this story, because it's not every day you come across something with an abnormally long tongue.
It's not something you want to come across either. I feel like to tell you the story, I'm going to have to get permission, and I feel like I'm not going to be given permission. So if I can give you parts of the story, like, and you can put things together, that might work out better. Because some people get testy when I just start talking, and I don't understand why, because I'm delightful. But just, for sanity's sake, it's good to just to give you a vague idea of the things that I've gone through here. It's good, but it'll be good. But it'll be vague for reasons. But yeah.
Honestly, it's this magic and science stuff that makes me uncomfortable. I don't understand anything that Rumchata was saying.
Yeah, just between you and me and Milfrun. I don't know what god you worship, but I lived in Palcune for a time, so Milfrun is like the god I think about. Kind of ironic, but yeah, you're not alone. Trust me when I say that.
I'm gonna go ahead and start heading back, but I'll start looking at what instruments I have.
Thanks. Yeah. It's one of those things where like the art that I do is much harder to teach. It's something you have to have like an ability for. So, yeah. We'll do that though. If we hit a bigger city, we can go out like busking together for a day. I haven't gotten to do that in a long time, and that would be a lot of fun. I do mask work, so like I change my face. It's a lot of fun.
You'll have to. I'd like to see that.
I will.
Oh yeah,
see that.
no, it's a delight. Yeah. Hello, dearest. Hello, darling. Yes, no. If we get to, this isn't a good sized city, but yeah, no. When we get somewhere, I'll show people. I mean, not everything because it's like a technique, but like, yeah, I like turn into different characters. I can do like fables. People really like my ant and the grasshopper for some reason. I don't know why, but I think it's just because I get really into it. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good time. Yeah.
So, Perunia for dinner and Miss Shaelune?
Yes.
Yes. And the others of you?
Oh, I will.
Excellent.
Yeah. Dinner's great. Love dinner. Dinner's good. I won't cry this time. No tears.
Great.
Am I included in that? I look at Panama and kind of whisper,
Yes.
I don't know that
You've been
I'm...
here the whole time. You've been here the whole time. Yes, you're good.
Oh,
You're good.
no.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
As
Very well.
Nugatza says that, I want to let it be known.
Notice it'll be fine. He's very rich.
As you asked everybody and mentioned Shaelune by name, and then to whom I know as Mrs. Liedown answered, I am now just very continuously side-eyeing Shaelune, or just kind of like glancing, like not fully in their direction to be rude, but just like very observant of this person now. Because from my understanding, Shaelune is some great magical caster that is above above all the casters in this world. And I'm just like, wait a minute, they're here. Primary
And
suspect.
Mrs. Lie Down.
And
Yeah.
And with that, Callus walks out as well. A few moments later, the other individual comes in and he looks around at everybody that's in there. And he's like, "Hello. I guess y'all are done doing whatever. I made sure no one came around. That was it's not every day that that you get a visit from one of the top executives. So it's pretty good. He said we were doing a good job down here, and so
You look spiffy too. You did a good job. You look clean and presentable. It's a good job. You look spiffy.
Oh, thanks. I'm quite proud of my job here as the warehouse and stock manager for Streak A here in Ariad. Yeah. Did you guys still need the space for something?
No, thank you. I'll be heading back to the train now.
As everybody's leaving the building, I'm gonna go up to this gentleman and slip him the equivalent of $100 in this world's money, and say, thank you for making sure that nobody was watching. This is very top secret, and I appreciate all of your discretion and know that Nugatza really appreciates and trusts you.
Oh, yeah, great. Thanks. Wow. I absolutely. I'm just going to get everything cleaned up here, so there's no questions if anyone else stops in. But yeah, should just be fine. And I'm just really happy that he came down and just said what a good job I'm doing. And this is like a little bonus. I'll have a thanks.
As we're staggering away, I'm gonna go to Perunia and be like, "Ooh, that was you're getting much better at that."
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Rogelio also wants to go up.
Without Lex here.
Also, Perunia, you don't. I have to ask you about the magic hands after.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. Also, should I have said yes? I'm very confused. We should prearrange these lies.
I thought you could, honestly.
Oh no, I have no magic in me whatsoever.
I disagree. You have the magic of punching people.
I was gonna say your personality is pretty magic.
Also,
Thanks.
not to give away the farm, but there is the thing that you have.
The thing that...
the thing that you have, the swing. I make the sword motion. Make the sword motion with my hand.
Hey, no. Shaelune went out of her way to tell me how non-magical that item was.
Not that one, the other thing. Oh my god! Like,
oh,
remember
the one on
the
fire.
thing?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah, the one on.
is
Yeah,
magic.
I think
Yeah,
that
I suppose
counts.
so.
I
Yeah,
just,
I mean, it
gotta
could be
go with
mechanic.
that.
I don't know.
Well, you're asking me. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just. I would vote yes. Like, you don't come across something like that every day. Just by the amount of things I see that do that on a daily basis, like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the train out. Like, I'm walking now. Like.
Yeah.
So we had been walking and talking towards what we believe is the probably the inn, because Prunia wanted to see it. But then she'll get there and realize, oh, if we're going to sleep here, we all probably need our bags. And then we'll turn around and head back there after we get our rooms.
Yeah, and while we do that, while the rest of the group is kind of like staggering away, I actually want to talk to Perini a little bit about the note that I gave you that you nodded about, and I went, I don't, yeah, something that, like, he's a great man, but there's something very short-sighted about this that I don't like, and I thought if anyone would appreciate the idea of maybe it's not about making people come up from the dead, maybe it's about making metal soldiers. I think that's something we're going to have to look out for.
Oh, metal soldiers would be way better than zombies. So yeah, if they could figure out how to do it, they're gonna. But let's look at it this way. You and Shaelune are already in hiding. We are already underground to protect you guys. Adding Rogelio to our group just makes sense.
Yeah, if Shaelune lets him stay.
Well, you and Lex can talk to her about that, the parents.
I don't know that I'm the person to be talking Shaelune into or out of anything.
But she'll get to keep up correspondence with Nugatsu, and she'll get to do all the scientific recordings and observations. There's something in it for her, too.
I mean, yeah, but, like, I don't think she understands how great the man is. I mean, I don't, but maybe I misunderstand it. It'll be fine. It's just, I kind of get the sense she's mad at me a little bit.
I think I get the sense that she's really exhausted, and everything is contributing to that. Not just you or I, but I think that if we can make sure that her, she feels supported, that's the important thing. And maybe in your case, maybe she really extra space.
Yeah, well, at least we're not on camels anymore. That's at least, that was a lot. I would prefer not to do camels.
As Panabon brings up camels, she huffs off in a huff.
Okay, fine. I wasn't, all right, fine. Okay.
I actually go up to Lex or Mom and ask her a question, like, as we walk back. I just wanted to, as we're walking and I'm kind of just listening in on what everyone's talking about, I do want to ask them out of curiosity. So this Shaelune person, do you what do you know about Shaelune? Like, when's the last time you saw Shaelune?
She was just with us. She was taking notes on you just now. The short one. Kind of feisty. Looks like your dad.
That's Shaelune. I wasn't aware. Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
I'm offended that all gnomes look the same to you.
All dragonborns look the same to me too.
We all have magics in our hands, so
we're all basically the same height too, right? Like, I'm not 5'8". I'm definitely Perunia's height.
It's all a matter of perception, right?
Yeah, we're all the same. We're all just gray blobs.
You might need your eyes checked. That's what that sounds like, Flex.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay. I've never seen a doctor a day in my life. I'm fine.
I'm a sages.
And
That's not something you hear every day. I am going to want to find my child before we get off the train. And I'll go, hey, so just checking in on you. Is there anything you need from where your box is? I assume it ended up getting back on the train. Did you have like anything in your box or any cargo stuff that you need, or is everything like on you?
I wouldn't be aware of that, to be honest. I just woke up there, so to speak. I didn't pack or anything. If there was things prepped or set aside for me, you'd have to probably ask Nugatsu.
Okay. But if you think of something, I want to make sure that you have it with you if you need it. Also, lesson for the day. Always keep them wanting more. So if tests are going to continue to happen about what you can do, make sure that you always hold something back so that you can always surprise someone. Because you never know who's watching, and you never know their intentions. So don't feel bad about saying, I'm sorry, I can't do it, because it's self-preservation.
Noted.
Yeah.
Life lesson number 8.
Ooh.
I am counting. Fun fact, my very first life lesson was pointed tongues are bad.
They are. It's not necessarily that they're pointed, it's how if they are overly long, if it feels like physiologically speaking it should not extend that far, that's your first sign. And the second sign to go with that, like 1.B, is a lack of hands. If they don't have hands, but it's not like the amputee thing where like they had hands but they don't now, like if they have hands that come away from the body that look like they shouldn't, like that's the line. It's a, you'll know it when you see it, and I hope you never see it, but if you ever do, you'll know it when you see it. Like your brain will just be like, no, that's bad. Like
my hand flicks back in some instances to cast spells, so I feel a little condescending writing that one down, so I don't take note of it. I'm like, we'll watch for it though. At some point, I don't have hands.
I feel like your one of your hidden lessons is Dad can't count, because they keep saying like life lesson number 2, and you're on number 8.
Number 7 was how to tell time in increments of sandwiches. So a half a sandwich is roughly about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So at a later time, I'm like, yes, we'll rendezvous at about 7.5 sandwiches. You'd be like, you'll have to decide.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy. Oh, everyone wants to leave a legacy. You know, my legacy is time increment and sandwiches.
I am taking notes of everything I am learning.
Oh, good.
We'll see if that ever overtakes the Jean method of counting time or the draconic method of counting time. As everyone else is heading back to the train to pick up their bags or whatever they need or gather their things, Perunia, as you are walking, you hear somebody kind of running up behind you, in a like a, not like sprinting up behind you, but a sort of like a trot. And so it's like, hey, you, hey.
I turn.
There's a man there, and he stops, and he's got just like a brown shirt, some old suspenders holding up work pants, boots, and he just kind of, whoa, oh, you're really tall. Hey.
Yeah. Can I help you?
I was just wondering, like, you look pretty strong. Are you like one of those dragonborn warrior types?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am, yes.
Yeah, I heard a lot of the Dragonborn are like good with their fists.
Well, I mean, it varies. We're not all the same. We can't all do magic with our hands. But yeah, I've been known to be in the ring.
Say, I mean, I guess you came in on that train, so you're probably not here for very long. But um, we've got like a nightly thing we got kind of going on here. You know, some of the guys that work on the rail. You know, the big beefy mama's boys. You know, if but it'd be fun to maybe get someone in there new that you know and just go a few rounds with some of the boys if you're interested in that sort of thing. Maybe.
Yeah, that's up my alley. What time? I have dinner plans, so I'm a little bit.
Oh, it'll be after dinner for sure. I tell you what, there's a bar. Just kind of if you're going to be staying in that big hotel that they're kind of putting everyone else up into, it's a bar. It's just like two doors down. It's Francie's. So just head there, and I mean, we'll see you come in, right? So, but if you're there sometime after dinner, and you know, we'll hang out, throw back some drinks, and then you know, just for funsies, you know, not nothing serious, you know. But I think it'd be a good time.
All right, Francie's. I stick my hand out. And your name is?
Oh yeah, I'm Roger. Just you know, one of the rail guys. Yeah.
Avril Levenge.
Avril, good to meet you, Avril. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you tonight. That'll be, you know, it'll be fun. All right. And with that, he kind of turns and trots off, and about 5 steps away, he does like this little like skip, like fist pump step, and then continues on.
That's so cute. Everyone we meet digs Perunia. That's headcanon now.
I am very charismatic, right?
Yeah.
Alex is not, but Perunia is.
So with that, is there anything anybody else want to do real quick?
Yeah, I went back to the train when everyone else went to the hotel, right?
I don't think everyone else went to the hotel right away. I think they went to the train to get their stuff to go to the hotel.
Okay. Then never mind.
While that discussion was going on, I actually wanted to try to like, I guess like nonchalantly slip away. Like I definitely wouldn't stop to listen or anything like that, but I do want to kind of go off on my own if possible. I'm not sure where everybody is going, but I want to just keep going back to the train if people stop.
So you're just heading back to the train?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So most people are going to the train to get their stuff and then head back out. So you head back there kind of with them. And then if you wanted to do something different or kind of get lost while they're grabbing their things.
Yeah, I don't have any things, obviously. But did I know that Lex was staying with Shaelune?
Yes.
Got you. Then I want to go over to Shaylune's room, assuming that they're there.
Oh, Shaelune definitely got there first. So
yeah, that's right. That's where I will head while everyone goes and gets their.
Yeah, so Shaylune's probably in her room. So do you knock or do you just open the door or what do you do?
No, definitely knock.
Hello, who is it?
Rogelio Jr. is requesting Shaelune?
She kind of confusedly puts her stuff back down and goes to the door and kind of cracks it and like looks around like it's weird that he's alone. Or it like seeing if he's alone. Oh, hi.
Like, hello, is are you Shaelune?
Yeah.
And he goes, you only have the door cracked, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, I don't know how exactly it would translate over to robot, but you just get an urgent, like a sense of like flustered. You see me just like speech kind of gets irregular, like oh okay, that's amazing. That's so you're Shaelune. And I just kind of like quickly stick my hand out in terms of like a handshake and keep it there. And I'm like, it is a pleasure to meet you. And I just keep my hand extended. I don't know if you'll take it or not, but it will stay there.
I do, but I'm just very confused. I don't know what they told you, but it's probably wrong.
And he said, well, you partake in magic, correct?
Yes.
Yes, they the group, as you went to lie down last night, told me you were probably the most impressive magic caster they've all ever known. Just an incredibly capable magic wielder.
That's just because magic is new in this world. It's not common. There was never magic before. There was technology, but that magic is kind of a new development in the world.
Yeah, so that would rank you as one of the best then, from what I'm told from the group and the collective. They only had positive, amazing things to say about you. I assume they'd be true once they were all in agreement.
She kind of she returns his stutters. That's all I got right now.
I said, I don't want to bother you if you're gathering your things, but at some point, I would love to talk to you just about the magic that you can do and trying to better understand my own, just to see if we could, put something together or figure out a little bit more. It's all obviously very new to me. I'm 2 days old, but to you, it seems like it's something that is just comes naturally from what everyone else has said. I haven't seen anything yet, obviously, but I was hoping that maybe we could have a discussion about this sometime. In your own most convenient time, of course. I'm not trying to pressure you, or ask anything of you that would make you uncomfortable. He just kind of keeps rambling.
As he's saying this, like, he is the epitome of everything Shaelune does, because like she was raised a tinkerer and like to be an artificer, and then infuse that with magic, and now there's this being that is those things combined. And being a blank slate, waking up 2 days ago, there's not the prejudgment of you might try to kill me kind of thing going on. So she goes, yeah, at any time. It looks like you'll be traveling with us, so I imagine we'll talk quite often. And I love talking about my research and science and magic and the links between the two of them, because theoretically you could argue that they are one and the same. But I look forward to our talks.
As you say that, I'd say that the eyes glow just like a little brighter, maybe a small puff of steam, just kind of like outside, like absolutely, that would be amazing. And you see just my movements, and I'm just like, then please pack your things, and I will return and at another time. And my motions as I'm like kind of moving around become less humanistic, more so like robotic, like they kind of like they're clickings rather than the fluid motion. And he goes, I'm sorry, I'm a little, there's too much to process at the moment. I hope that doesn't offend you.
No, all good.
He says, "Oh, gosh, like, so please pack your things, and I will see you at dinner." And I start to just kind of like back away from the door. I'm not too sure how to end the conversation.
All right. Thanks. See you soon.
He says, "Yes, of course. See you soon."
So she closes the door and kind of like is very excited about the prospect of a science-y, magic-minded friend in the group again, before she turns back and returns to what she was doing, which was searching Lex's things.
Ba-dum-bum.
Joke's on you. Everything's on me because I have nothing.
That's fine. If you have nothing, that's fine. But I went back here with the intention of searching your stuff, just to make sure.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
Super minimal. Like, it's like the bag has like an item of clothing that Lex either wears or doesn't, depending on something.
It's
That's
the opposite of Panabon, where there's everything in the bag, including but not limited to a decomposing finger at certain point.
There's also a half-used band-aid. Like, just
half used.
Like
Don't
one
worry
side
about
is
it.
sticky. The only one side.
You left the backing, the sticky backing on the other half, so it's just like you could still like undo that part and stick that part on if you wanted.
exactly. Like, I've got nothing.
I'm just making sure there's not like a little letter anywhere that says like kill Shaelune and Panabon, love Flemgesu. Like that's really like
Yeah.
Honestly, that the Band-Aid would raise
That's
the red flag.
exactly how Flemmy writes.
Like half used.
There's a flute. There's a flute and some like extra caltrops. That's it.
okay.
Just
I'm a
So-
man of many material things.
just want to make sure in any ways I can.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, go for it.
I was gonna say there's something I would like to do.
Okay.
But I wanted to wait till I knew what direction everyone went in. So, like, did anyone go to the city outside of the hotel?
So everyone sounds like they were going to the train to get their stuff that they were going to have for the night at the hotel. And then
I also set a trap that will explode paint onto someone if they try to open any of our doors. So they'll be like iridescent bright green.
Damn, Panabon, did you bother telling Perunia that? Cool.
I did it after. Like, I lingered until everybody else was away so that it would only be...
I hope you
People
get to
that
the door
do it.
first and not me.
was Shaelune, were you going to stay in the train for the night, or were you going to the hotel for the night?
I would prefer to stay in the train, personally.
So that would be the hiccup in that plan for Panabon if Panabon cared. But other than that, everyone either went to the train or went to the hotel. So what is Lex doing?
I would like to find a space where I could be private by myself. And I would like to attempt to make myself look like Shaelune. And I'm going to go and find, sorry, my mind is blanking, the researcher we were just talking with.
The person at the...
Yeah, at the platform with us earlier. I'm blanking on the name. I'm so sorry.
Nugatza?
Yeah.
Nugatsu? Okay.
Yeah.
Nugatza Senato? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, that-
I am...
Wait. He can? Hold on. I need a clarification here. Lex can turn into other people.
So Lex finds a spot and takes a moment, and anyone who would have been watching that spot, I don't think anyone was, but anyone who was watching that spot would have seen Lex go in and Shaelune come out. And we will pick that up next week when we...
That's spicy. That is spicy right there. That's a spicy cliffhanger.
When we come back to our next session, next week it's on Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Like clockwork.
I'm real upset.